Good morning. My name is Pamela and welcome to God Conscious Twin Flames 1111. I want to thank you for all the likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. I want to thank you for joining me again today for our weekly update. Actually, this is the weekend update and the weekend report, energy report. So the comments about, reminding you guys to trust in God. It is and was and probably will always be from this point forward one of the most important tools I have to offer you on this journey. Just a reminder that with God, all things are possible. And that we want to clear any of the blocks that we have in the communications that we have with the divine. This is a divine partnership, which means it's of God. And because it's of God, we want to do the things that God wants us to do to be happy, joyous, and free. Even though this journey doesn't feel that way at times, it is to help free us from this point forward for the rest of our lives to live in the promised land. So I thank you for joining me. I thank you for your comments. Please keep them coming. They're encouraging for me and for the others that get to watch this channel. And we love you and we appreciate you for that. Thank you to all of the donations. They're really helping me because I do spend a lot of time on this. It is one of the sources that help keep this channel going, as well as the Facebook page and now the new website. So thank you to your generosity and for your generosity. It really is a blessing from the angels, and you are the earth angels that are in my path. So prayers to you and praise to you. If you would like to book a personal reading to get a more clear indication of what's going on in your life and in your partnership with your divine masculine, click one of the links below or visit the website at www.godconscious1111.org, or you can just purchase below. Whether you are a twin flame or not a twin flame, the angels give me the guidance, really. I declare myself to be a vessel and a channel for God and the angels to be able to assist my brothers and sisters on this journey. So it doesn't matter that you might be in Australia or in England or in New York, because they don't see that those barriers as we see them. They can give you the messages regardless, because it's energy, and it's the energy that you have, and it's the energy of your partnership that you come to request. So just kind of a little understanding. Most of my readings, with the exception of the 3-card one, are live video readings. So they are you and me together working with the guides and angels present in that moment. I don't do the longer recorded readings at this time unless the angels and guides tell me to. They want them to be live for this channel. So just so you know, it's not, so we have to schedule your reading. There is another blog up on the website, and this one is one of a series. It's the beginning on unconditional love. And I hope you enjoy that blog. The first blog was What is God Consciousness? So if you get a chance, take a look at those and share them on Facebook. If you are on Facebook, please like, share, and subscribe from there as well. I'm going to do the next live on Facebook, just for those that are watching, and I'll start to put out the dates on these videos as they're given to me. So today's reading is, I use Jesus Calling by Sarah Young, devotional for today, June 15th. When you approach me in stillness and in trust, you are strengthened. You need a buffer zone of silence around you. in order to focus on things that are unseen. Since I am invisible, you must not let your senses dominate your thinking. The curse of this age is overstimulation of the senses, which blocks out awareness of the unseen world. The tangible world still reflects my glory to those who have eyes that see and ears that hear. Spending time alone with me is the best way to develop sensing eyes and hearing ears. The goal is to be aware of unseen things, even as you live out your life in the visible world. So I talked about that a lot, I think even this week. And I talk about that a lot because it is the things that we cannot see. It is the undercurrents of the divine world that we are now being awakened to. And part of the mission is to be able to tune into the spiritual solutions in the midst of a crisis, and not to act out in one of our 7 deadly sins. And I know that this has come up a lot this week, and this reminder is for somebody, and it is always a reminder to me that what my eyes see is not really what's happening, and that I want to look beneath the surface to see the truth. When another human being acts out, and ours is the twin flame, for anybody else that's watching this video who is not a twin flame, anybody that hurts you because they're in pain. Hurt people. And so our job on this awakened path is to not take it personally, to be forgiving and loving and gentle. We don't allow people to walk on us. That's a lie that we were told to keep us in conflict with people. So we want to get to the nitty-gritty of, if it affects you, why is it affecting you so deeply? Is it something from the past coming to the present for healing? And that's kind of one of the ways to look at the unseen. Why is this affecting me so deeply? Why is this something that happened at the hands of my mother or father, that I developed a survival tool, and I'm acting in the survival tool? Am I rushing all of the past into the present and attaching it to this incident and this human being? Those kind of questions help clear you. They help you get free from blocks. So the scriptures that we have for today are in Psalms 119:18. Open my eyes that I would see wondrous things from your law. I am a stranger in the earth. Do not hide your commandments from me. That's 19. 20. My soul breaks with longing for your judgment at all times. You rebuke the proud, the cursed, who stray from your commandments. Remove from me reproach and contempt, what I just talked about. For I have kept your testimonies. Princes also sit and speak against me. But your servant, which is you and me, meditates on your statutes, which are God's. Your testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. So that's what that's another part of the eyes that see from the spiritual realm. I keep God's testimonies, regardless of who speaks against me, which has been my twin flame at times. And in my mind, it's Satan, get behind me. Like Jesus said to Peter in the New Testament, because he's not operating within the realm of the spirit. He's operating in the realm of the earth, the ego, self-satisfaction. And that is not that he does that on purpose, but it is certainly something that I'm not going to take personally. And then we have Psalm 130:5. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I do hope. My soul waits for the Lord, more than those who watch for the morning. Yes, more than those who watch for the morning. And that's kind of where I'm at. I just wait. Doesn't matter what the divine, what the twin flame does, what my divine partner does, because it does not have a bearing on what God has in store for us. And particularly for me, because my journey is to be a light and a beacon of hope to those that seek Him, and those that have maybe been condemned in religion. The tarot is a very controversial subject when it's in religion, and I'm here to stop that and to open people's minds up to the idea that God and the angels can use anything. And in this case, they're using the tarot and angel cards to give us guidance to get back to the way God would want us to be. And humans have put these things into error. It is not the error of God. It is not our error. I'm not here to tell you that I know all things. The only things that I do know are that of God, and that we should be seeking His face in all of these things, and to develop our skill set in that regard. And that they give us warning, suggestions, and advice on how an event could conceivably cause us to commit error, period. They call it sin. I don't really particularly care for that word. But we make errors, and that's humanity. That's being human, and that's really taking that sting out of that you can't be redeemed or that it can't be overcome, because it can, and it will, and it does. So in 2 Corinthians 4:18, while we do not look at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporary, but the things which are not seen are eternal. For we know that if our earthly house, this tent, is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed with our habitation, which is from heaven. If indeed, having been clothed, we shall not be found naked. For we who are in this tent groan, being burdened, not because we want to be unclothed, but further clothed, that mortality may be swallowed up by life. Now He who has prepared us for this very thing is God, who also has given us the Spirit as a guarantee. Period. End of subject. So we are always confident, knowing that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. So with that, I think that you kind of start to get the point that the tent is our heart and our mind, and God wants us to reside in Him in there, and that He will make sure, if He takes care of the birds of the sky, why wouldn't He take care of you and me and all of our needs? He knows what our needs are. So we're beginning this spread with the palace. The swords as the overall energy for the weekend. They want you to stay in meditation and to get clear from any of the belief systems that aren't serving you. This has been your message for the entirety of this week. Just kind of get clear. That's why I love that the angels prove that they're present here. God is present. He wants you to get clear from any of your intellectual thinking that was built on a faulty belief system. Yeah, very clear. I did shuffle the deck, prayed over, and this is what they want you to know. Go into meditation, go into prayer, keep a journal close by, write down anything that comes to mind, to see what blocks you still have. And when you clear your blocks, it helps the divine partner clear with their blocks, unbeknownst to anybody, because this is stuff that is unseen. We want proof that it's happening, but the proof will come in God's time. Believe that. Know that. It will come in God's time. When he feels that you're ready. But you keep focused. You have enough to do to keep focused on your little path, on what you need to clear, on what is causing you pain, what is blocking you from being free. And that requires meditation and time alone with God, as it was said in the reading, and stillness and trust. You are strengthened. You need the buffer zone of silence around you in order to focus on the things that are unseen, because He is invisible. Don't let your senses or what you see in the physical plane dominate you. That's the reading. That's the message this weekend. Just because He's not talking to you, just because He says nasty things, just because work doesn't appear, everything appears bleak. That's how we get sidetracked. So the news, the bleakness in the news, that's how we get sidetracked. It makes us feel overwhelmed. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You've had this light all week in different positions in this spread. You are coming to the light at the end of the tunnel. You will see the fruits of your spirit. They may be just little wins. And the Divine wants you to focus on those little wins to build them to the bigger wins. He, you know, it's kind of like if He gave you too much at once, you might claim, or whoever gave it to you might claim authority over that, and it was because of me. No, we have to see that it was because of God, God's love for you, God's love for me, that these are coming through. The Divine has to be the one who's getting the glory and praise for those victories. Now, it's showing the Devil card, a powerful. You have 3 major arcana, and that focus has been 3. So with the 3s that we've had, mind, body, and spirit, focus on all 3. Focus on all 3. Don't neglect any one of those 3. Mind, body, and spirit. You have to focus on all 3. Mind, body, and spirit. So the Devil talks about being restricted by addictions. We can be addicted to pain. We can be addicted to chaos. We can be addicted to drugs. We can be addicted to food. We can be addicted to smoking. They want you to just take a look at where you're addicted and where you are stuck, really. Addiction is a very powerful. We don't realize that we can be addicted to the ego. So take a look at all those areas that you might be bound. See how He's kept prisoner. He's kept prisoner by this, you know, by the Devil. And the Devil is in each of us. Which one do you want to operate out of? It is your inner. It's an inner energy. It's primitive. It's savage. It attacks you from within, you know, you have the answer, the unexpected, the aha moment here in the Temperance. Finding the balance between all 3. You have this as the focus. So if you're feeling this, focus on this. Focus on other things. You might be angry right now. You might find that you get angry over the weekend. I'm sensing that this is for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. They're not, at this moment, not telling me clearly whether or not this is overall the partnership energy. And the reason that you want to clear this is because the Divine Masculine, it spiritually knows that you're not ready yet if you're angry. So you want to work on this weekend. You want to get that clear. He knows, intuitively he knows. And once you clear into forgiveness, you have the Ace of Cups energy, which is a harmony and balance. That's the outcome. But you got to do this work. And if you need guidance on that, then book a reading. And we'll know specifically where, because sometimes we don't realize it. It is buried in the subconscious, and we act in the subconscious. So I'd encourage you to book a reading to get clear angelic guidance specifically for you. Maybe you have been repressing your energy. Maybe you have been hiding out. Maybe you've been in isolation because you're avoiding the responsibility of doing this work. Maybe you're avoiding the responsibility, and this isn't to do it in condemnation. If you feel grieved by this, then it's you. Maybe, you know, you've been engaging in shopaholism as an addiction and busyness, and you're not willing, but it is your responsibility to clear that. That is a very powerful energy that can be converted to good if you're willing. If we keep feeding that, that's going to grow. It's also talking about being in the, you know, not being in the eyes to hear and the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Sorry. Oh boy. Maybe you have friends that are instigating this and saying, look at how bad he is, look at how bad he is, look at how, we got to stop that. Maybe it is because he has not followed through on work, and you're looking at this from a financial aspect. Maybe your inner child is trying to get your attention, and you need to come out and maybe you need to nurture the inner child. Maybe you need to do just a really good cry and just nurture the inner child and love the inner child and help bring the inner child to a place of peace, so that it does not act out. I refer to mine as an inner child that I did not allow myself to feel because it was, you know, I was ridiculous. There were tapes that played in my head that were installed in me by my upbringing. Okay, sorry about that little interruption. Hopefully we don't have any more. Okay, so this is your role, the world. To be able to be still, like the mighty oak tree, no matter what is happening, because you've already been through all the seasons. You've been through the fire. You've been through the floods. You've been through the harvest. You've been through the clouds. And if you haven't, it's time to really embrace all of that, which is oneness, really, with yourself. Embrace those dark sides of you. Embrace them. Don't act in them, but embrace them. Yes, we can be a little bit stubborn, and yes, I can be a little bit childish, and yes, I can be very generous, and yes, I can be very selfish, and yes, I can be very prideful, and yes, I can be arrogant, and yes, I can be loving and gentle and kind, and yes, I have all of those things within me. Yes. And when you embrace them, that's love. That's loving yourself. First, they said, love you. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added onto you. The 2 commandments that we talked about yesterday. And if I didn't talk about them, I think I blogged about them. So please forgive me. I'm trying to, all the messages that come through, oneness with the divine. Embrace all of those things about you. Your darkness and your light. And love them unconditionally. That's what the unconditional love message was. You are at the end of a very dark period, and you have ended, and you're looking at this maybe in awe. But this reading is telling me that for many of you, they need you to meditate on it. And if you have an addiction of some sort, embrace it, because then there's healing at the end of that. What you resist persists. If you resist the devil, meaning, you know, the addiction, or you try to control it, it bites. It bites. That's your physical. If you are dealing with addiction, this has come up before, not often, but it does come up. It's an opportunity to revisit anything that you're engaging in that's unhealthy, an obsessive relationship, an obsessive thought, which could cause you to feel extreme pain. The desire for, Okay, so interruptions. I apologize, and I'm prayerful that that was the last one for now. So much is happening energetically. People are being pulled apart and brought together, and because of that, it is more important than ever to stay in balance with our emotional selves. And in staying in balance with our emotional selves, that also means, meditating, praying, asking for help when needed, staying in the balance, really just focus on divine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for pointing this out to me. Thank you for your love. Thank you. Thank you for getting me through all 4 seasons. Honestly, because those are the seasons of life, and with each season comes a new lesson, and in order to get through this journey in a peaceful manner, we want to be like that mighty oak tree by the rolling rivers, and just kind of not go like a birch tree, but back and forth and back and forth. We want to be at peace and stable and in oneness with the divine, who has our back. This is newness, a new relationship with yourself, a new relationship with the divine. When you have those things, a new relationship can develop with your divine partner, with your family, with your children. There's so much potential when you get clear of this. You have 3 major arcana, and then you have the new card. If we can usher through the 4 seasons of ourselves, then we can usher through anything. This is also a gift of goodwill in the middle of a conflict. I can tell you that I just got a gift of goodwill in the middle of a conflict, and an offering of a cup. So I'm prayerful that you will get one too. This was and is a weekend energy update. It happened in the middle of this reading, so be encouraged that love, an unconditional love, it takes work within our own being to be able to be aware of it, to witness it, to envelop it, to embrace it. And loving yourself, first and foremost, is one of the keys to the success of this divine partnership. Because then it doesn't matter if you're together or if you're apart. Then it doesn't matter if he does something or she does something. It doesn't matter. So today I'm going to go through the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, and I'm asking for messages. They asked me to pull 3 cards, lay them down, give you a minute to choose what your question is, and then prayer that this is an answer to that question. For this weekend, 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you can pick whatever card. You can do however you like as you go through this. I'm going to lay out the 3 cards in the middle of this spread so that you can be guided to the right information for your particular circumstances. And I want to thank you for your patience through those interruptions. It's going to take me a minute to upload this video. It'll probably be afternoon in some areas by the time this comes out. I apologize for that. Be in the stillness and just trust that you're being strengthened. That's our message for this weekend. Just be in stillness and let this play out, and that you ask for the divine guidance as to what this means underneath. So 3 cards. Okay, so let me see how they want me to do this. I'll see. Okay, so this, for those of you that want that choose number 1, this is number 2, and then this is number 3. So go ahead and make your selection, and then we'll see what the overall energy is, which we're not going to call it the fourth. Change your focus. Change your focus to the divine, not on your partner. Change your focus. Okay, so here we go. Those that pick card number 1, manifest. Manifest love. It's a number 1. It's the beginning. Manifest love. Thank you, angels. Number 2, joy and stability. Those that pick this, manifest joy and stability. Manifest that. And then seek. So that's your messages. They're all like, okay, yes, this was a little bit heavy, but these are the things that, depending on which card you picked, and whatever resonates with you, blessings of love and peace to you. Thank you for joining me today. I just send out, healing energies, heartfelt healing energies to all of you, because I do understand this path, and I do appreciate each and every one of you, and my prayers are with you, that you hear God, and that you obey God, and that you, in that obedience, and I'd encourage you to look that word up, because for me it was like, ugh, a rule, like, but it's not. It's really for our greater good. And this kind of training is better than anything you can get in academia. God, University of God, God Conscious University, learning how to go through this in a gentle way. They gave you gentleness at the end of this. So peace and blessings. Until next time, dear ones, sending you lots of love.